The love and hip-hop universe has seen its share of chaos. But nothing could have prepared fans for the scandal that just ripped through its cast like a lightning strike. Word on the street is that Mendeecees Harris, yes, Yandy's husband, the man who swore he'd changed and left his past behind, may have been living a shocking double life all along. And this time, the mess isn't just about loyalty or love. It's about betrayal, hidden secrets, and a pregnancy that has turned the entire cast upside down. Sources close to production are whispering that not one, but two familiar faces, Erica Mena and Sin Santana, have found themselves at the center of this explosive twist. And the fallout has left the love and hip-hop family in absolute chaos. It all started with a few cryptic social media posts, late-night captions about truths coming to light, side-eye emojis, and heartbreak quotes sent fans spiraling into speculation. At first, no one thought much of it. Erica and Sin have both had their share of public ups and downs. But when an insider leaked that Mendeecees had allegedly been spotted leaving a hotel in Atlanta with a woman who looked eerily similar to Erica, everything changed overnight. The blogs caught fire, screenshots flooded timelines, and by morning, everyone wanted answers. Producers reportedly tried to keep the situation contained. But that became impossible when Erica showed up to filming in tears, accusing Mendeecees of playing both sides and Sin of betraying her. "You think you're the only one who knows what he's been doing?" Sin allegedly snapped back, her voice trembling with fury. Cameras were rolling, security was on edge, and Yandy, blindsided and furious, had no idea her husband was about to be dragged into a scandal that would stain his image forever. Fans are calling it one of the most shocking betrayals in love and hip-hop history, not only because of who's involved, but because of how far the lies may have gone. Did Mendeecees really rekindle old flames behind Yandy's back? Was Erica telling the truth about being pregnant? Or was it all part of a twisted plot for revenge? And how did Sin end up caught between the storm? Every angle of this story screams drama, and according to insiders, what's about to come next might be even worse than what anyone imagined. As emotions boil over, friendships crumble, and accusations fly, one question has everyone holding their breath. How long has Mendeecees been living this double life? The truth, it seems, is just beginning to unravel, and when it does, it might tear the love and hip-hop family apart for good. It all began the night cameras stopped rolling, when the cast thought the drama had cooled down after months of filming. But behind closed doors, Mendeecees' phone kept lighting up. He'd glance down, swipe fast, and lock the screen again before Yandy could ask who it was. At first, she brushed it off. He was managing business, she thought, but something about the way he stepped outside to take calls made her uneasy. Fans later said you could see it in her body language during their last live appearance together. The way her smile slipped for just a second whenever he looked at his phone. What no one knew was that another woman was on the other side of those calls, and her name was already familiar to everyone watching Erica. Rumors started flying after Erica was spotted at a private lounge in Atlanta, with a man wearing the same jacket Mendeecees had posted on his story that same night. It wasn't long before bloggers zoomed in on the photo and matched the chain, the sneakers, even the hand tattoo. Yandy's fans flooded the comments, asking why her husband was out in the middle of the night without her. Meanwhile, Erica posted a cryptic quote that read, "Some people love you in front of everyone and betray you behind the scenes." The timing couldn't have been worse. By morning, Mendeecees had turned off his comments, and Yandy was silent to silent. A week later, production insiders claimed a confrontation went down at a reunion prep shoot. Yandy walked in early, composed but cold. She didn't say a word until she saw Erica across the room. "You got something to tell me?" she said, her voice low but sharp. Erica didn't flinch. "You should ask your man that," she replied, tossing her hair back with that signature smirk. That single line broke the peace. Voices rose, producers scrambled, and security stepped in before things could get physical. Later, someone leaked audio from that argument, and fans could hear Yandy saying, "You're not going to embarrass me on national TV. Not again," while Erica shouted back, "Then control your husband." Once the clip hit social media, everything spiraled. Fan pages lit up with theories. Some said it was all for ratings. Others swore Erica had proof, a voice memo, a hotel receipt, and a pregnancy test that had everyone whispering. And just when people thought it couldn't get more complicated, Sin Santana entered the picture. Sin and Erica had their own history, a love story that once captured the entire franchise. Their reunion at the last season's event had already sparked rumors, but no one expected them to clash again like this. According to someone close to the crew, Sin pulled Erica aside backstage, telling her to stop dragging everyone into her mess. "This isn't about you anymore," Sin allegedly said. Erica's reply was simple but chilling. It's always about me. The next day, Sin posted a tweet saying, "Some people crave attention because truth terrifies them." And that was all it took to make people think she was talking about Erica, maybe even Mendeecees. By now, Yandi couldn't ignore what was happening. She started questioning everything. She called Mendeecees out during a tense sit-down, asking him directly if he had any contact with Erica. "She's lying, Yandi," he said, avoiding her eyes. "You know how she does, she wants clout." But when Yandi pushed further, asking about the hotel rumor, Mendeecees froze. "I was there for a meeting," he finally muttered, but Yandi wasn't convinced. At midnight, she asked quietly. He didn't answer. Cameras caught her standing up, walking away, whispering, "You're not the man I thought you were." The footage leaked weeks later, unedited, raw, and filled with tension. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. Mendeecees' reputation took a hit overnight, and Yandi was praised for her composure. But behind that calm exterior, insiders said she was breaking down privately, confiding in close friends that she didn't know who to trust anymore. Meanwhile, Erica kept feeding the fire, posting more cryptic captions, like truth always finds its way out. Then one night, she dropped a bombshell an Instagram story of a sonogram with the caption, "Miracles happen twice." The internet exploded. Was she really pregnant? And if so, was Mendeecees the father? Within hours, gossip blogs began connecting dots. Timelines, sightings, text, screenshots, it all painted a messy picture. Sin reportedly reached out to Erica privately, asking if it was true. "Ask him yourself," Erica replied. And that's when Sin lost it. At a cast dinner filmed days later, Sin confronted Mendeecees directly, saying, "Why do your lies keep dragging everyone down?" He fired back, "You don't even know what you're talking about." The room went silent. Yandi, sitting a few seats away, stared at him in disbelief. Erica entered the restaurant midway through, like she knew her moment had come. "You want to talk about truth?" she said, her heels clicking across the floor. "Then let's talk." Mendeecees looked trapped, caught between three women: his wife, his ex, and the woman claiming to be carrying his child. Producers could barely contain the tension. Sin shouted, "You played all of us." Yandi whispered, "Tell me it's not true," and Erica just stood there, holding her phone. She pressed play. A recording began to play, Mendeecees' voice, unmistakable, saying, "You know I can't leave her right now. Just be patient." Gasps filled the room. The clip went viral overnight. Everyone had an opinion. Fans called Mendeecees a manipulator, a hypocrite, a man who couldn't choose between loyalty and lust. Others defended him, claiming Erica set him up to ruin his marriage, but the damage was done. The next morning, Yandi was photographed leaving their home without her wedding ring. The blogs plastered her face everywhere, calling it the end of an empire. Yet behind the scenes, she wasn't done. Insiders said she met privately with Sin the next day, forming an unexpected alliance. "We've both been through his lies," Yandi reportedly told Sin. "If we want peace, we stop giving him power." Sin agreed, but only if Erica stayed out of it. What neither of them knew was that Erica had already contacted producers about filming her own tell-all special, promising to reveal the full truth about Mendeecees' double life. Rumors spread that she was planning to show proof texts, photos, and even DNA results. Yandi's team tried to block it, threatening legal action if Mendeecees' name was used, but it was too late. Erica had the audience's attention now, and she knew how to use it. While filming resumed for the next season, the cast dynamics shifted dramatically. Some sided with Yandi, others with Erica. Safari tried to mediate, but ended up clashing with both women. Rich Dollaz called the whole situation classic reality madness. But even he admitted he'd never seen tension like this before. Mendeecees, meanwhile, went quiet. No interviews, no posts, no appearances. Insiders said he was meeting privately with producers, trying to control how the story would be shown on air. But once the footage was leaked, control was the one thing he no longer had. Fans began calling the situation the love triangle that broke love and hip-hop. Theories. The love triangle that broke love and hip-hop. Theories multiplied. Some claimed Mendeecees had been seeing Erica before the rumors started. Others believed the pregnancy was fake and just a stunt for revenge. But then came the biggest twist of Erica posted and deleted a message saying, "DNA doesn't lie." The post vanished in minutes, but screenshots spread everywhere. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know if the child was his. As the tension reached a boiling point, Yandi found herself torn between protecting her dignity and exposing the truth. "If I go public, I ruin my peace," she told a friend in a leaked clip. "If I stay silent, people think he broke me." Her strength became a trending topic, with fans praising her for handling the storm with grace. But off camera, Sources said she was preparing for a showdown that would make everything before look like child's play. And that's exactly where the next chapter begins, when Mendeecees finally decides to face everyone at once. To clear his name, or maybe to confess what he's been hiding all along. The next day arrived like a storm waiting to break. Mendeecees walked into the studio set wearing dark shades, his silence heavier than the cameras surrounding him. Everyone could feel the tension in the air, thick and unspoken. Yandi was already seated across the room, arms crossed, expression unreadable. Sin stood near the wall, watching everything. Erica hadn't arrived yet, but everyone knew she would. She loved timing her entrances. Producers whispered directions, makeup artists pretended to stay busy. But the whole room was charged with something that felt like dread. When Mendeecees finally took a seat, Yandi didn't look at him. She kept her eyes on the floor until he spoke first. "You really think I'd do that?" His voice was low, shaky. "I think you already did," she said, barely above a whisper. "And you're just mad it's out now." For a moment, the room was quiet enough to hear the sound of the boom mic shifting overhead. Mendeecees rubbed his forehead, muttering, "This whole thing got twisted." But before he could finish, the doors swung open. Erica walked in, holding her phone, her chin high. The crew froze. Sin muttered under her breath, "Here we go." Erica looked straight at Mendeecees and said, "So, are you finally ready to tell the truth, or should I do it for you?" Mendeecees leaned back, smirking like a man cornered but unwilling to fold. "You've been running your mouth all week," he said. "You want your moment, take it." That was all she needed. She pressed a button on her phone and set it on the table. The voice recording played again, but this time it continued longer than the clip fans had heard online. It revealed him saying, "You know I'm not ready to leave Yandi yet, but you mean something to me. I can't explain it." Gasps rippled through the room. Yandi's lips trembled, but she didn't cry. She stood up slowly, straightened her jacket, and said, "You can't explain it because it's filth. That's all this is." The next scene cut 2 hours later. After production paused filming, Erica sat in her dressing room, staring at the mirror. Her makeup artist asked quietly, "You okay?" Erica didn't answer at first. "I told him I didn't want to hurt her," she finally said, "but he kept lying to both of us, so I let him hang himself." Sin knocked on the door. "Can we talk?" Erica rolled her eyes. "What now?" Sin stepped inside, shutting the door behind her. "You think this helps you?" Sin asked, folding her arms. "You think you look strong?" Erica turned, eyes narrowing. "You of all people want to talk about looking strong." The tension between them was electric. Sin said, "You're dragging everybody down with you." Erica laughed bitterly. "Baby, I'm not dragging anyone. I'm just showing receipts." While the women battled it out, Mendeecees disappeared from set for hours. When he finally returned, he looked tired, haunted even. He walked into the parking lot where Yandi was pacing by her car. Cameras followed from a distance. "I didn't cheat," he said, voice rough. "It was emotional. That's all it was." Yandi turned, tears in her eyes but anger in her voice. "You think that makes it better? You think I'm supposed to feel comforted by that?" She stepped closer. "You built a whole image on loyalty, and now the world sees what I've been ignoring." Mendeecees reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "Don't," she whispered. "Not when you still smell like her perfume." Fans watching the episode later said it was the most painful scene in years. Social media flooded with sympathy for Yandi, but also disbelief that Mendeecees could risk everything after rebuilding his reputation post-prison. Insiders said he knew his image was collapsing. His team started crafting statements, trying to shift blame toward Erica's agenda. But then came another twist. Sin received a mysterious DM with screenshots showing Erica wasn't the only one involved. Apparently, another woman had reached out to producers, claiming she had been seeing Mendeecees too, and that he'd promised to take care of her once things calmed down. When Sin told Yandi, she didn't believe it at first. "No," Yandi said, shaking her head. "That can't be real." But Sin showed her the messages, and Yandi's face fell. "How many lives does he have?" she whispered. The new woman's name hadn't been made public yet, but rumors said she was connected to a music video shoot Mendeecees worked on last summer. Erica caught wind of it fast and immediately went live, saying, "See, I told y'all he's been lying since day one." Her live drew thousands of viewers within minutes. She waved her phone at the camera, saying, "This isn't just about me or Yandi anymore. This man's been juggling women like contracts." Back on set, producers realized they had a full-blown scandal bigger than any scripted drama they could have written. They restructured entire episodes to center around the Mendeecees scandal. Cast members picked sides. Kimbella spoke out in defense of Yandi, saying, "She doesn't deserve this humiliation." Safari, ever the instigator, joked in confessionals that Mendeecees needed a Google Calendar to keep track of all his lies. Fans laughed, but Yandi wasn't laughing anymore. Her trust had shattered completely. She started sleeping at a hotel with her kids, refusing to let him near them until she had clarity. In a tense on-camera conversation days later, Mendeecees tried to explain himself again. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. "It got out of hand. I messed up." Yandi stared at him, silent. "Say it," she said finally. "Say what you did." He hesitated, voice trembling. "I got close to her, but it wasn't love." She shook her head. "You don't get to define love after you destroy it." She walked away, leaving him standing there as the crew packed up equipment. Later that night, Sin met with Erica privately again, this time with a different tone. "Whatever this was, it's over now," Sin said. "You proved your point, but you hurt people who didn't deserve it." Erica stared at her, eyes cold. "I didn't make him lie. I just stopped protecting him." Sin sighed. "And now everyone's bleeding because of it." The tension broke for a moment when Erica softened slightly. "You think I wanted this?" she said. "I thought maybe he'd finally tell the truth. But men like him, they only confess when they're exposed." Meanwhile, production sources claimed Yandi had started working on her own project, a documentary-style spin-off focused on healing after betrayal. Fans saw it as a subtle clapback. Erica responded with another jab online. Some people heal in silence, others monetize their pain. The feud kept social media divided. Teams formed. #TeamYandi trended for days, while #Erica exposed gained traction among gossip pages. Then came the biggest curveball yet. Erica released what she called the final proof. She posted a photo of a hospital bracelet and a caption that read, "Sometimes truth kicks before it cries." She didn't mention names, but everyone knew what it implied. Within hours, the internet exploded again. Mendeecees was trending. Fans demanded answers. Yandi's camp released a statement saying, "We are aware of ongoing rumors and focusing on family." Sin posted a simple message. "Karma always knows the address." As the drama reached its peak, Mendeecees finally broke his silence in an interview clip filmed for the reunion special. Sitting across from the host, he looked defeated. "I made mistakes," he admitted. "I let people into." "I made mistakes," he admitted. "I let people into my space who didn't belong there. I didn't cheat in the way people think, but I crossed lines." Emotional lines. The audience gasped. Yandi, sitting a few seats away, closed her eyes, tears running down her face. Erica smirked, whispering to Sin, "See, he still can't say it." Sin replied softly, "No, he just did in his own coward way." That confession set the stage for what became the most anticipated reunion in love and hip-hop history. Every unresolved emotion, every secret, every betrayal, all of it was about to come to a head. The cast had no idea that the reunion would end with something no one could have predicted. Something that would change everything for Mendeecees, Yandi, Erica, and Sin forever. The reunion started like a powder keg ready to blow. The set was darker than usual, heavy lighting and tight camera angles that made every stare feel sharper. The audience buzzed with anticipation, knowing this wasn't just another recap, it was the reckoning everyone had been waiting for. Mendeecees walked out first, adjusting his mic, eyes darting around like he was searching for an escape route. Yandi followed, calm but unreadable. Sin came next, looking tense. And finally, Erica stepped onto the stage in a crimson dress that screamed confidence. The room fell into silence. The host opened gently, asking Mendeecees if he was ready to clear the air. "I'm here to take accountability," he began. But before he could continue, Erica laughed under her breath. "Accountability? Now that the cameras are on," she said. The host raised a hand. "We'll let everyone speak, but please, respect each other." Erica crossed her legs, her tone dripping sarcasm. "Respect went out the window when he was playing house with both of us." The audience gasped. Yandi glanced sideways but didn't respond. She had promised herself not to break on stage. Mendeecees sighed, rubbing his temples. "Look, I messed up. I said things I shouldn't have said. I gave the wrong impression. But I never stepped out physically. Not once." Erica shot back immediately. "So the hotel receipts mean what? Bible study?" The crowd erupted. The host tried to calm them down, but Erica wasn't finished. "You begged me not to expose you. I told you I wouldn't until you called me a liar on national TV. Yandi finally spoke, her voice quiet but cutting. "And you thought the solution was to drag me into your revenge." Erica turned toward her, expression softening for a split second. "You were never supposed to get hurt, but he played both of us." For the first time, Sin spoke. "He played all of us," she said. The set went silent again. She looked straight at Mendy. "You sat in my face and told me to stay out of it, knowing you were lying to both of them. Mendeecees swallowed hard. You don't understand the pressure, he said weakly. Sin snapped. No, you don't understand the difference between love and control. Applause broke out from the audience. The host nodded slowly, leaning forward. Mendeecees, people have seen the receipts, the messages, the calls. Are you still denying there was something real with Erica? Mendeecees hesitated, then said, I cared about her. But it was never love. Erica leaned forward, eyes blazing. You looked me in the eyes and said I made you feel peace. Remember that? You told me you were tired of pretending. Mendeecees stared back, voice trembling. And I was wrong. I confused comfort with connection. Yandi finally exhaled, her composure breaking for the first time. So you let me believe we were building something solid while you were out finding comfort somewhere else. She shook her head, her voice cracking. You didn't just cheat on me. You humiliated me in front of the world. The room was so quiet you could hear the cameras humming. The host turned to Yandi. How are you processing all of this now? She took a moment before answering. I've learned that loyalty means nothing to a man who doesn't value himself. I can forgive him, but I can't stay in this cycle. Mendeecees' face fell. So that's it? He asked softly. She didn't look at him. It's been it. You just didn't notice. As that scene aired weeks later, viewers flooded social media. #JusticeForYandi trended instantly. Fans called her performance powerful and raw. But behind the scenes, the tension didn't end. Producers encouraged a one-on-one sit-down between Yandi and Erica offstage, hoping for closure. At first, both women refused. But days later, they agreed on their own terms. The cameras rolled quietly as they met at a private rooftop location overlooking the city. Yandi arrived first, dressed simply, no glam, no entourage. Erica arrived 10 minutes later, visibly nervous but determined. For a while, they just stared at each other. Then Yandi spoke. Why him? Erica sighed. Because he made me feel like I wasn't the problem for once. But it was all lies. Yandi nodded slowly. That's what he does. He builds dreams he never plans to live in. They sat in silence for a long moment, the city lights flickering below them. Eventually, Yandi said, I don't hate you. I wanted to, but I realized we're both victims of the same story. Erica looked down, tears glistening. I never thought it'd go this far, she said. I just wanted the truth to hurt him, not destroy everyone. Yandi replied quietly. That's what truth doesn't stop at the guilty. For the first time, both women smiled. Not out of joy but exhaustion. Production insiders later said that moment changed everything. Erica stopped posting cryptic messages, and Yandi began focusing on rebuilding her brand away from the show. Sin, however, wasn't done. She had her own suspicions that there was more to the story, especially after she received another anonymous message from someone claiming to have proof that the baby isn't Erica's. When Sin confronted Erica privately, she was met with silence. Why won't you deny it? Sin asked. Erica looked away. Because maybe I'm done fighting lies with lies. The reunion aired in full a month later, becoming the highest-rated episode of the season. But what fans didn't see was the unaired footage that leaked shortly after. In it, Mendeecees was shown backstage, pacing, on the phone with someone unidentified. You told me this was handled, he said. Now everyone's watching. I can't fix this if you keep talking. Some fans believed he was talking to the second woman rumored to be involved. Others thought it was Erica again. Whatever the truth was, it deepened the mystery. By now, his reputation was in ruins. Endorsements pulled back, fans turned on him, and producers debated whether to cut him from future seasons. Meanwhile, Yandi received offers for independent projects and speaking engagements about resilience and empowerment. She accepted one, delivering a powerful talk about learning to love yourself after public betrayal. Her closing words became viral. Forgiveness doesn't mean staying, it means walking away with grace. Erica, on the other hand, took a different route. She posted a black and white video montage of her journey with a caption that read, Every villain has a backstory. It drew millions of views in hours. Sin commented under the post with a single word, truth. Fans speculated the women had finally reached a strange kind of peace. But Mendeecees wasn't ready to disappear. Weeks later, he released his own statement on social media, claiming, People will always believe the loudest voice, not the truest one. His comment section erupted. Some called it gaslighting. Others defended him. Yet the controversy refused to die. Tabloids began reporting that he was working on a redemption documentary, with exclusive footage of unseen moments and private conversations that could change everything. Yandi responded indirectly during an interview. He can tell his story all he wants, she said, but I already lived the truth. Her words hit hard, resonating with viewers who saw through every layer of the drama. Erica reposted that clip with the caption, "And that's on healing." Sin added a heart emoji. It was subtle, but it said everything. As the dust began to settle, fans noticed something unexpected. The three women had quietly started following each other again on social media. No posts, no statements, just quiet acknowledgement. The same fans who once fueled the drama now celebrated the silent reconciliation, calling it the comeback of maturity. Mendeecees, however, remained an outcast in his own story, his name now synonymous with deception and downfall. But little did anyone know, another revelation was still waiting in the shadows, one that would make every scandal before it looked small. One that involved a hidden recording, a late-night meeting, and the shocking truth about who had really orchestrated the entire leak that tore their lives apart. Mendeecees sat in his car long after the cameras stopped rolling, the glow from the streetlights flickering across his face as his phone buzzed non-stop. Yandi had called 12 times, Erica was sending voice notes filled with anger, and Sin had just posted a cryptic message that had everyone talking. He stared at his reflection in the windshield, realizing that his double life wasn't a secret anymore. What started as harmless conversations and late-night confessions had turned into a storm that now threatened to destroy everything he'd built. As his phone lit up again, he finally answered Yandi's call. Her voice was sharp, trembling, and raw. "You think you can play family man on TV and father someone else's baby off-screen?" she shouted, her words echoing through his chest. "You embarrassed me, Mendeecees. You embarrassed all of us." He tried to explain, but she wasn't having it. She hung up before he could finish, leaving him in silence as the city noise filled the space around him. Hours later, Erica was in her kitchen, pacing while Safari sat at the counter, scrolling through his phone. "It's not about the baby," she said, slamming her hand on the table. "It's about the lies." Sin trusted him, Yandi trusted him, and he played all of them. Safari raised an eyebrow. "You act like you ain't ever lied for a storyline before." Erica turned sharply, eyes blazing. "This isn't about a storyline, Safari. This is about real life. There's a baby involved." She grabbed her phone and went live, her voice shaking as thousands of fans joined. "I'm not holding back anymore," she said to the camera. "People need to know who Mendeecees really is." Her words were deliberate, heavy, and filled with the kind of rage that only comes from betrayal. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Hashtags spread like wildfire. Hashtag Mendeecees double life. Hashtag justice for Yan DY. Hashtag CYN betrayed. Fans dissected every clip, every past episode, searching for hidden signs. Some defended him, saying it was all a setup for ratings. Others demanded accountability, calling him manipulative. The chaos was unmatched. At the same time, Sin was in tears, scrolling through messages from fans who'd tagged her in Erica's live. She tossed her phone onto the bed and whispered to herself, "I should have known." Later that night, Mendeecees finally showed up at the house. Yandi was sitting on the couch, her eyes red but her voice cold. "You can sleep here tonight," she said, "but don't talk to me." He walked past her quietly, feeling the weight of the silence, heavier than any argument. Upstairs, he sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the framed photos of their family. "It's not what it looks like," he murmured, knowing she wasn't listening. The next morning, Sin and Erica met for brunch at a small cafe in Brooklyn. The cameras weren't supposed to be there, but they were hidden, rolling, waiting. Sin took a sip of her coffee and leaned forward. "I just don't get why he lied to me," she said softly. "I thought we were just talking. I didn't know he was talking to someone else, too." Erica's eyes flashed. "That's how they all are. They act innocent, but the whole time they're building lies. And now there's a baby in the mix." Sin shook her head. "Do you think it's true?" Erica shrugged. "It doesn't matter if it's true. The damage is done." By afternoon, the producers were in full panic mode. The footage had leaked, and TMZ was already running the headline. "Love and hip-hop scandal. Mendeecees' secret baby bombshell divides the cast." Yandi called the producers demanding answers, while Erica basked in the attention, replying to fans with cryptic comments. Sin, on the other hand, stayed quiet, too hurt to speak, too humiliated to fight back. That night, the cast gathered for an emergency meeting at the studio. The energy was tense, with everyone avoiding eye contact. Yandi arrived first, her posture stiff and composed, though her eyes betrayed exhaustion. Erica followed, phone in hand, already filming snippets for her story. Then came Sin, her expression cold but controlled. Mendeecees walked in last, greeted by silence so thick it felt like the air itself had turned solid. "So what's this all about?" Erica asked, folding her arms. "You gonna finally admit what you did?" Mendeecees looked at her, then at Yandy. You want the truth, he said quietly. The truth is, I made mistakes. But I didn't cheat. Not the way you think. Erica scoffed. That's the line you're going with. Sin spoke up then, her voice trembling but firm. So you're saying there's no baby? He hesitated. The pause was long enough to answer for him. Yandy stood up. I can't do this right now. She walked out, tears threatening to fall but pride forcing her to hold them back. Mendeecees followed, trying to catch her arm. But she pulled away. You had one job, she said bitterly, to protect this family, and you couldn't even do that. Erica rolled her eyes. Oh please, Yandy, you act like you didn't know what kind of man he was. That was enough to make Sin snap. Erica, don't start, she said, standing. You've had your own scandals. You're not innocent. Erica smirked. Yeah, but at least I own mine. Their argument grew louder until security stepped in. The producers watched nervously from behind the glass, realizing that what was supposed to be a damage control meeting had turned into another explosive episode. Fans outside the studio could hear the shouting. Within hours, clips of the confrontation leaked online again, and once more, the internet caught fire. Later that night, Mendeecees sat in his car again, parked outside his mother's house this time. His phone buzzed with messages from his publicist, but he ignored them. Instead, he thought about everything that had happened, the accusations, the crying, the betrayal. He knew the truth, but the truth didn't matter anymore. Once a scandal hits, it doesn't need to be real, it just needs to feel real. And right now, everyone believed it. As he drove off into the night, Erica posted another story, a black screen with the words "Karma never misses." Fans began speculating again, convinced that she was talking about Yandy. Sin stayed silent, posting only a single quote. Sometimes the truth hurts more than the lie. Yandy meanwhile unfollowed Mendeecees on every platform, and the blogs picked it up instantly. By morning, the headlines screamed chaos. Love and hip-hop implodes as Mendeecees' double life unfolds. The show's reputation was at stake, the cast was divided, and fans couldn't look away. The scandal had become bigger than the people involved. It had turned into a story about trust, betrayal, and the fragile line between love and fame. And as producers prepared for the next shoot, one thing was certain: this drama was far from over. Days turned into weeks, but the storm didn't die down. Every move Mendeecees made was under scrutiny. He tried attending family events, hoping to show normalcy, but photos leaked immediately. Yandy in one corner, her face unreadable. Sin standing a few feet away, arms crossed. Erica nowhere in sight, but commenting online with cryptic emojis. The tension between them was palpable, like electricity waiting to strike again. Insiders said Mendeecees barely slept, his anxiety growing each time he heard notifications ping from his phone. Yandy meanwhile, focused on her children and herself. She spent late nights in therapy, documenting every betrayal and every emotion. Her posts became more empowering, subtle digs at the chaos that had overtaken her life without naming anyone directly. Sometimes silence is louder than any accusation, she wrote. Fans responded in droves, praising her resilience. And many began calling her the true star of the franchise, far beyond what cameras had ever captured. Erica, on the other hand, leaned into the media frenzy. She did live streams, interviews, and social media posts, each carefully crafted to keep the audience engaged. She painted herself as the woman who refused to be silenced, the one who exposed the truth. I didn't start this, she said in one interview. I just revealed what was already happening. The lies don't survive forever. Her words hit hard, especially since she didn't name names, leaving viewers to connect the dots themselves. Sin's approach was quieter but equally strategic. She withdrew from social media for a few days, letting the storm pass and observing the reactions. When she returned, she posted a single sentence: truth has a way of finding daylight, even in the darkest rooms. Truth has a way of finding daylight, even in the darkest rooms. Fans interpreted it as a statement about Mendeecees, Erica, or even Yandy. No one knew for sure. The ambiguity fueled speculation, which kept the drama alive far beyond the reunion episodes. Production had to adapt quickly. The upcoming season was rewritten multiple times, integrating the ongoing chaos. Producers scheduled additional confessionals, extra interviews, and surprise confrontations. One scene involved Mendeecees being cornered by both Yandy and Sin, while Erica watched from a distance, smug and The tension was real. Cameras captured every flinch, every narrowed eye, every trembling lip. It was raw, unscripted drama, exactly what viewers craved. At home, Mendeecees attempted to reconcile with Yandy. He showed up with flowers, trying to bridge the gap, but she refused. You don't get to sweep this under the rug, she said, voice steady. You made choices. Now you live with them, Sin and Erica observed from afar, knowing that any sign of weakness could be weaponized in the next round of social media leaks. The trio's interactions became a high-stakes chess game, each move scrutinized, dissected, and debated online. Then came the hospital twist that changed everything. Erica posted another sonogram, claiming it was proof that she was indeed pregnant. Sin caught wind of it first and immediately called Yandi to discuss the implications. If this is real, it could destroy him completely, Sin said. Yandi sighed, exhaling slowly. I don't care anymore, if it's his child, she replied. I care that the truth is out and people know what kind of man he is. Erica, aware that the leak had shifted public sentiment, kept her posts vague but provocative. Mendeecees' publicist scrambled. Statements were drafted and deleted within minutes. Interviews were cancelled. Social media accounts went private. And insiders claimed that he was negotiating legal action. Not against Erica, but against anyone attempting to defame him further. Yet, even as he tried to regain control, every move he made fueled the narrative of betrayal, deception, and scandal. Fans argued in comments, hashtags trended, and the drama became larger than any single episode could contain. Meanwhile, Yandi focused on her own storyline. She began filming a personal segment detailing her side of the emotional rollercoaster. She spoke about trust, betrayal, resilience, and moving forward. Viewers watched as she navigated the pain of a public scandal, balancing motherhood, career, and the relentless scrutiny of fans. Her authenticity resonated deeply. People started comparing her composure to the chaos surrounding Erica and Mendeecees, framing her as the moral center amidst the storm. Erica capitalized on the tension. She did interviews with gossip outlets, hinting that she had more to reveal about Mendeecees' past relationships and behavior. Sin, observing the media circus, posted a single Instagram story, a dimly lit room with the caption, "Some games can't be un." The three women had created a triangle of power, strategy, and influence that left Mendeecees cornered both on screen and in public perception. As weeks passed, the leaks continued. Texts were shared anonymously, screenshots circulated, and former cast members hinted at knowing even more than the public realized. The intensity of the drama wasn't just confined to social media, it reached the streets, parties, and casual conversations of fans across the country. Every encounter, every glance, every cryptic post was analyzed as a potential clue to the true scope of Mendeecees' double life. By now, insiders revealed that production had secretly filmed private moments between the cast, capturing unguarded emotions. Mendeecees was caught off guard multiple times, his reactions raw and unfiltered. Yandi remained poised, Erica remained provocative, and Sin remained calculating. The dynamic was explosive, and the cameras never stopped rolling. One night, Sin received an anonymous tip suggesting that Mendeecees was planning another secret meeting with Erica. She called Yandi immediately. "We need to stop this before it gets worse," Sin said. Yandi nodded, her jaw tight. "I don't care what he's planning. I just want the truth." Finally, the alliance between Yandi and Sin became solid, a quiet counterbalance to Erica's chaos. Together, they plotted how to ensure the truth came out on their terms, not his. The public watched, obsessed. The drama had reached levels no reunion, no leaked clip, and no social media post had ever achieved before. The triangle of women, the man at the center, the whispers of a child, the leaked recordings, the private confrontations, it all blended into a saga of betrayal, revenge, and the unrelenting quest for truth. And even as everyone thought they had reached the climax, insiders hinted at another revelation, one that could change the story entirely, one that might redefine who was the victim and who was the instigator in this scandal that had captured the nation's attention. The audience, already hooked, waited with bated breath, knowing that in the world of love and hip-hop, nothing was ever truly over. The following days blurred into an endless cycle of speculation, confrontations, and social media chaos. Mendeecees tried to maintain some semblance of control, but every attempt backfired. An unguarded comment at a private dinner with a producer was leaked, sending fans into a frenzy. Sin, ever vigilant, intercepted screenshots and forwarded them to Yandi, who shook her head in frustration. "He just doesn't get it," she said quietly. "He can't buy back trust with excuses or PR statements." The alliance between the two women grew stronger, rooted not in friendship but in a shared desire to expose the truth. Erica, meanwhile, was unstoppable. She had become a media magnet, giving interviews, dropping hints about future revelations, and posting cryptic messages across all her platforms. Every post was calculated to draw attention, to provoke reactions, and to remind everyone that she had power in the unfolding narrative, she captioned one post simply, "Not all truths come wrapped in love." Fans speculated endlessly. Was it about Mendeecees, about Yandy, or something even deeper? The ambiguity fueled the fire. The cast convened at the studio for what was supposed to be a mediated discussion. Producers hoped to address the escalating tension and salvage the season's storyline. As soon as Mendeecees stepped onto the stage, he felt the weight of every camera, every whisper, every judgmental glance. Yandy entered behind him, her posture rigid, her face unreadable. Sin followed, watching both carefully, and Erica arrived last, her presence like a spark ready to ignite. The air was thick with unspoken accusations. The host tried to start gently. "We're here to discuss the recent events and get clarity from everyone involved." Erica interrupted immediately, leaning forward, voice sharp. "Clarity? There's no clarity when someone lies for months. The only truth that matters is what's left in the aftermath." The audience murmured, captivated by the intensity. Mendeecees opened his mouth, but Sin cut him off. "Save it. We've heard enough apologies and excuses. It's time for accountability." Yandy added, voice cold and steady, "I don't need words. I need actions. And you've shown me none." Production sources later revealed that this confrontation produced footage so raw and tense that editors had to create separate cuts to manage airtime. In one segment, Mendeecees tried to justify his behavior, citing emotional confusion and stress. Yandy's eyes narrowed. "Confusion? Do you hear yourself? You manipulated me, Erica, Sin, and everyone around you. That's not confusion, that's deceit." Erica, grinning, added, "Finally, someone said it out loud." Sin shook her head, muttering, "It's exhausting being in the middle of someone else's mess." Amidst the chaos, a mysterious revelation surfaced. Erica released what she claimed were hospital records, suggesting she might be pregnant, though she refused to confirm. Sin and Yandy received anonymous tips hinting that the truth behind this pregnancy was far more complicated than anyone knew. Producers seized on the opportunity, framing the upcoming episodes around the tension between possible pregnancy and hidden lies. Fans went wild, debating and analyzing every post, every leak, every vague statement. The social media frenzy reached levels unseen in previous seasons. Mendeecees attempted private reconciliation with Yandy, showing up at her house with flowers and a letter. She read alliances, loyalties, and the narrative entirely. The audience, captivated and relentless, waited with bated breath, knowing that in the world of love and hip-hop, the next bombshell was always just around the corner, ready to ignite the screen and the internet once more. The following weeks were a whirlwind of chaos, leaks, and public speculation. Every social media post, every comment, every appearance by the cast became a headline. Mendeecees attempted to regain some control, but each step he took seemed to fan the flames further. A leaked audio clip of a private conversation surfaced online, allegedly revealing him discussing covering tracks and managing narratives with an unidentified associate. The clip sent fans into a frenzy, accusing him of premeditated deceit. Sin immediately called Yandy after hearing about it. "He thinks he's smart," she said, voice trembling with anger. "But the truth is finally catching up to him." Yandy, exhaling slowly, replied, "We'll see about that. I'm done letting him dictate the story." Erica, sensing the momentum, strategically released snippets of her own interactions with Mendeecees, further fueling speculation. She posted a cryptic video captioned, "Some truths are harder to swallow than lies," without revealing specifics. Fans dissected every frame, every glance, every pause, trying to determine whether she was implying a pregnancy, a betrayal, or something even more scandalous. Sin's response was a single comment, "Watch carefully." Yandy remained silent publicly, focusing on her personal life and letting the drama unfold around her while carefully curating her image of dignity and resilience. Production used the leaks and social media firestorm to re-edit the upcoming episodes, adding tension, drama, and confrontation where possible. Every scene was extended, every close-up lingered longer, and every argument was replayed for maximum effect. The reunion footage, already explosive, was sliced to highlight the betrayals, accusations, and emotional breakdowns. Viewers were captivated, debating on forums, commenting on clips, and analyzing every subtle gesture and tone. Meanwhile, the cast's personal interactions off-camera were equally dramatic. Mendeecees attempted to meet privately with Yandy, offering apologies and vague promises of making things right. She refused to engage, standing firm on her principles and the trust he had destroyed. Sin observed from a distance, documenting these interactions for her own protection. and Erica remained unpredictable, posting cryptic stories and videos that kept everyone guessing. Each action and reaction was a strategic move in the unrelenting game of public perception and personal survival. Then came the shocking twist. Erica released what she claimed was a sonogram image, confirming rumors that she might be pregnant. Sin received an anonymous tip suggesting that there were more details hidden behind the image, perhaps implicating another party or revealing even deeper deception. Yandi, though frustrated, remained composed, focusing on the bigger picture, the pattern of manipulation and betrayal that had defined the past months. Mendeecees, realizing the situation was spiraling out of control, hired legal counsel and attempted to craft a public statement to clarify his position, but every attempt was met with backlash. Fans interpreted his words as gaslighting, manipulation, or a failure to take responsibility. Sin and Yandi strategically withheld their own statements, allowing the public and media to fill in the gaps, which only amplified the perception of Mendeecees' wrongdoing. Erica, meanwhile, continued her carefully orchestrated campaign of provocation, keeping her name in headlines and ensuring the scandal remained top of mind. The cast convened again for a staged discussion, framed as a mediated dialogue but charged with raw tension. Cameras captured every hesitation, every glare, and every subtle movement. Mendeecees tried to justify himself, citing stress and emotional confusion. But Sin, Yandi, and Erica each countered with specific examples of lies, manipulations, and broken promises. The intensity was electric, the stakes higher than ever. The audience, already captivated, was glued to their screens, dissecting each word, gesture, and pause. As the episodes aired, social media erupted. Hashtags like #Mendeecees double life, #truthwins, #love and hip hop scandal, and #justice for Yandi trended globally. Fans debated loyalties, dissected motives, and speculated about hidden truths. Celebrity gossip blogs amplified every revelation, sharing clips, screenshots, and interpretations, further escalating the drama. The narrative had become bigger than the cast themselves, transforming into a cultural phenomenon that transcended reality television. Behind the scenes, the cast navigated an increasingly delicate balance. Mendeecees attempted private reconciliations, but each effort was met with skepticism. Yandi and Sin coordinated subtly, using silence and selective disclosure to control public perception. Erica played the provocateur, ensuring maximum engagement and visibility. The complex web of truth, deception, and strategy created a perfect storm, leaving no room for complacency. As the season progressed, new revelations emerged. A former associate of Mendeecees provided evidence of secret meetings, undisclosed promises, and additional alleged deceptions. The cast responded in real time, each maneuvering to protect themselves, maintain influence, or exploit the situation. The tension, already palpable, intensified further, ensuring that the unfolding scandal would dominate screens, headlines, and social media feeds for months to come. And even as fans thought they had seen the climax of betrayal and deception, insiders teased another bombshell, one that promised to upend alliances, redefine loyalties, and push the story into uncharted territory. The audience, already hooked, waited with bated breath, knowing that in the world of love and hip-hop, no scandal ever truly ends. And the next shocking revelation was always just around the corner. Wow, what a whirlwind of drama, betrayal, and shocking revelations. The story of Mendeecees' double life has shaken love and hip-hop to its core, leaving Yandi, Sin, and Erica in a tangled web of emotions, secrets, and unanswered questions. We've watched trust shattered, alliances tested, and the public caught in a storm of suspense that keeps everyone guessing. Now, the burning question remains, what happens next? Will Mendeecees finally come clean? Will Yandi and Sin find closure? And what about Erica's possible pregnancy? How will that twist reshape everything we thought we knew? This is where you come in, because your voice matters. We want to hear what you think about this explosive saga. Do you believe Mendeecees truly lived a double life? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Whose side are you, on Yandi's sins, or Erica? Drop your thoughts, theories, and reactions in the comments below. Your opinion could even spark the next big conversation among fans around the world. If you've been captivated by every twist, turn, and shocking revelation in this scandal, make sure you hit that like button to show your support. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update on the latest love and hip-hop drama, exclusive insider stories, and behind-the-scenes revelations. Click the notification bell to stay in the loop, because trust us, this story is far from over, and the next shocking bombshell could drop at any moment. Join the conversation. Share this video with fellow fans, And let's keep dissecting every secret, every lie, and every explosive moment together. Your engagement fuels the drama. And together, we'll uncover the truth behind Mendeecees' double life. So like, comment, subscribe, and buckle up because this saga is only getting more intense from here.